Live, local, late breaking. This is Newswatch 12 this morning.
Good morning. The time is 6:30 on August 20th. Welcome to Newswatch 12 this morning. I'm Carlos Murrieta. We first want to turn over to Storm Tracker 12 meteorologist Sarah Kress for a look at our Wednesday. And Sarah, I know you've been tracking the heat, and it's today that last day before it really heats up.
Oh yeah, definitely. We'll be feeling seasonally heat today because we are tracking out at our coastas right now. It is being a little bit more comfortable when it comes to heat over the next couple of days and even fog. But we are seeing areas of fog this morning and coastal clouds impacting visibility. Brookings at about a quarter mile right now. We will see that decrease throughout the morning, joining the rest of the region with bright blue skies. But waking up temperatures, we're at 61 into Medford. Over east side, we're at 43 to Lakeview, just a little bit warmer than yesterday. 48 to Klamath Falls, 50 to Montague for both Gold Beach and Brookings at 55. So out the door in the Rogue Valley, definitely a cooler start to the day. By lunchtime, we'll be into the 70s, and then we'll be pushing pretty close to the 90s today, right around where we should be for this time of year. So it still is summertime, still will be feeling a little bit hot, but not quite as hot as what we're expected to turn up the heat starting tomorrow. Also, we will see a breezy day along the coast, late day breezes areas inland with bright and sunny skies. Now, in terms of the wind gusts, we'll see them anywhere from about 20 to 25 miles per hour later today into the Rogue Valley, and then your typical evening breezes areas over to the east. Now, here's a closer look at your high temperatures, and I know I've been telling you all about it the past couple of days, and you heard a lot about it this morning, but heat does turn up tomorrow. So I'll have a closer look what you can expect around the rest of the region and take a closer look at your weekend plans as well.
In our top story this morning, Ashlin city leaders have approved the Community Wildfire Protection Plan, setting the city's strategy for the next decade. Now the new plan replaces a version that was written 20 years ago and outlines steps to reduce fire danger over the next 10 years. We spoke with Mayor Tanya Graham right after City Council approved that plan.
It has been an incredible process over the last 2 years because this has been a whole community effort led by the city, but really supported by organizations and institutions across the community. But we're very excited to be on this side of it, to have that plan in place now, and to be able to roll up our sleeves and get started implementing it.
Mayor Graham said they're working to identify funding sources, which could include state, federal, and local partnerships to help cover costs. Now the Wildfire Protection Plan will ensure that residents, businesses, and the city are equipped in case of a wildfire. The Wildfire Plan, made by the Ashlin Fire Department, finds that only 15% of homes in Ashlin meet the wildfire resilience construct standards, and without intervention, there could be up to $1 billion in damages and displacements due to wildfires and smoke over the next 30 years. This plan would mandate that 90% of Ashlin needs to achieve fire risk reduction in the next 10 years. Now, this would cost a total of $80 to $100 million over the course of those 10 years.
It's not going to be cheap, but at the same time, we're in a position where we don't have a choice. We have time to get this plan passed, hopefully tonight, and then start working on the issue. We need to be ready for that next fire.
We also spoke with Ashlin City Council member Gina Duquesne about how this plan will affect Ashlin residents financially.
You look at your average Ashlander that makes $37,000 and some change each year. How are we going to be able to afford this?
Mayor Graham also said implementation of the plan will begin immediately, with work continuing over the next 10 years. And today, residents of Coos County will have the chance to learn more about the $100 million state investment in the Port of Coos Bay. The $100 million investment in the Pacific Coast Intermodal Port project will support channel modifications, rail upgrades, and the creation of thousands of jobs. To learn more about the project, you can attend a community town hall at the Coquel Casino that starts at noon. Local lawmakers call this funding a game changer.
There's a lot of opportunity for tech jobs. There's a lot of opportunity for trades jobs. And again, this community has been left behind for a long time, and it's about time we deliver on the promises made.
The investment will fund critical infrastructure and channel modifications and position the port as a key West Coast shipping hub. And on to continuing coverage, a California State Senate committee has advanced a bill that would redraw the state's congressional map. The Elections and Constitutional Amendments Committee voted on new legislation that could help Democrats gain 5 seats in the 2026 midterm election. The bill would be heard by another committee today, as the final passage is expected tomorrow. California's new congressional maps would take effect only if voters approve a separate bill to allow the new maps to be used. That measure is also being debated, and a vote is expected soon.
Let's not dance around the issue here. If California Democrats had our way, the midterms would continue as they are, with a map drawn by the state's independent California Citizens Redistricting Commission. But that's not good enough for this president or the Republicans following his commands in Texas and D.C.
The California effort is in response to Texas Republicans redrawing congressional maps there to create 5 new GOP-leaning districts in an attempt to gain more conservative seats in Congress. Moving on to the fire watch, a fast-moving fire with visible smoke was reported yesterday afternoon in rural Central Point, forcing multiple fire agencies to be called in. The Oregon Department of Forestry says the fire has been stopped at an estimated 1 to 2 acres, and while this fire was kept small, local fire agencies are urging everyone to remain fire-wise despite recent cooler temperatures.
It's a good reminder that we're in August. We're in the middle of fire season, really the worst of it, where our vegetation is as dry as it's going to get. It's as ready to carry fire as it's going to get.
So the fire is still under investigation, and ODF will remain on the scene during mop-up. And as we approach the 5-year anniversary of the Alameda and Obichain fires, Access is hosting a fire survivor support fair today. Access will be at the Rogues Food Unites Eagle Point Market from 3 to 5 p.m. Available resources include case management, information on new housing programs, and new business grants. An additional pop-up support fair will take place in Medford next week. And moving on to an update, the driver accused of crashing into a softball team's bus earlier this year, killing a UCC player and coach, has pleaded guilty. Jonathan Dowdy of Coos Bay entered his plea yesterday to 12 charges related to the bus crash after he was first charged with 25 counts in April. Dowdy was already awaiting a court date for a previous drunk driving charge at the time of the crash. Both cases will be sentenced on September 11th. And the Grants Pass Police Department is asking the public's help in locating a man who has now been indicted in connection to a series of commercial burglaries. 33-year-old Anthony Mooney was indicted by a grand jury on 12 counts of burglary last week. Police say Mooney burglarized and intentionally damaged several businesses, including Bimart, Cash Connect, Highland Market, and Rogue Fly Shop. A closer look at what businesses have been burglarized and Mooney's charges can be found on our website. And moving on to the School Watch, a first for Oregon's youngest learners, a preschool in Phoenix is making history as the state's first licensed outdoor nature-based school. Now, this is made possible by House Bill 2717, which went into effect this summer. This creates Oregon's first licensing pathway for outdoor preschools. Blackberry Academy Outdoor School is the first in the state to receive that license. The school uses Blue Heron Park as its classroom through a partnership with the city of Phoenix. In an unusual sight in Ashlin, as a baby bear was spotted up a tree near the pickleball courts at Lithia Park. Now, as a reminder, bears are active right now in the region, and right now we're looking at foul footage of bears that have been spotted in Ashlin. Ashlin Parks and Recreation says the baby bear near Lithia Park pickleball courts eventually climbed down and headed back up the hill. The courts are safe and open for play again, and officials stress that sightings should always be reported to help keep both people and wildlife safe. Last week, we told you about a limited time TSA pre-check enrollment event, And now, the Rogue Valley Airport is announcing the event is canceled. The airport says those that have enrolled will be contacted to reschedule their appointments. The airport says they hope to reschedule the event. And looking ahead to this weekend, if you're looking for a way to cool off in the summer heat, the Medford Police has got you covered. They will be on Popsicle Patrol at Hawthorne Park Splash Pad this Saturday from 2 to 4 p.m. They'll be giving away popsicles and waters to everyone during that time, and this will be the last Popsicle Patrol of the summer.